Hello, good afternoon and welcome to the Sunday game, coming to you live from Kingfield Stadium in Woking for a real David v Goliath Cup tie between Woking, who are second in the National League South, and Watford in mid-table in the Premier League. 6 divisions separate them in the league pyramid here, in the English League pyramid, and there's a capacity crowd of around 5,000 to see what can happen here as Alan Dowson's team take on Javi Grazia's very good Watford side, who started the season really well, went off the boil a little bit, but now started to come back into form. It's a massive crowd expected here at Kingfield Stadium. As I say, it's full house, standing room only. 5,000 capacity as the teams come out of the tunnel to a huge roar. This really is the true identity of flavour that the FA Cup competition is all about. The Woking fans, probably half the town, out in force for a day they'll never forget. The furthest they've got in the cup was to the fourth round back in 1991. And the pitch looks in absolute pristine condition. That's the first thing I will say. It's a cracking little cup tie, this one, and I think it's got the hallmarks of being a cracker. Let's look at the two teams, shall we? And it's Woking first with Craig Ross in goal, Collier, Nathan Collier, Ben Gearin, Jack Cook and Josh Casey the captain. And then in the midfield we've got Harry Taylor, Toby Edza and Christian Jolly, and then up front we've got Craig Lower, Jake Hyde the central striker, and Jamal Loza up front. On the bench for Woking we've got Harvey Bradley, Hermione Little, Paul Hodges, Nicky Riller, Bertie Scoletti, amongst others this afternoon. For Watford, it's Gomez in goal, Wilmot, Britos, Massina, Cleverly, Shalabar, Queener, Hughes, Success and Peraranda. On the bench, Mariappa, Delafeo, Dini, Seema, Firmina, Navarro and Dahlberg. The referee today is Graham Scott of Oxfordshire. There is one substitute I actually missed off for Wilkins, so my apologies to the player that I've missed out, and I'll bring up his name in just a second and write that down. I haven't got his first name, so I'm just going to have to go by his surname, and it's a double-barreled one. I wondered why I didn't write it down. And the guy's name, and I do apologise to him because I didn't mention him there in the two lineups, Hester Cook, number 16. So Hester Cook is the other substitute, incidentally, for Woking this afternoon. And as ever, in the live games, the Sunday game live or the Saturday game live or whatever day the game falls on, we always want your opinions as well. Don't forget to put your comments below. Keep the comments clean, of course. We are a family show. And if you haven't subscribed to the JB Clark YouTube channel yet and would like to, hit that subscribe button. And if you want notifications on any activity on the channel, whether it's live commentaries or FIFA videos or anything like that, or any oddities that we do sometimes to put on from time to time, hit the bell button and you'll get first alerts. And don't forget, we have a companion Facebook page as we wait for the teams to kick off, and that's a companion Facebook page, and you can find out at www.facebook.com/JB Claret, where you if you hit the like button you will get all the content and all the live and get all the information on live football games, commentaries coming up in the next few days. Right, anyway, back to today then, and it's Woking to get us underway in the third round of the FA Cup. Our second live match later we've got Burnley from Barnsley from yesterday. It's our second live game, and it comes from Kingfield Stadium here in Woking. A bit of a local derby this, and it's Woking in the blue, red and white half shirts to get us underway. They're going to be attacking the goal to our left. That's number 11, Jamal Loza. Big day for him. Big day for Josh Casey, the captain, the left back for Woking today. Watford in the change shirts of all green, as Hughes takes possession out on the right hand side for Watford. They're attacking the goal to our right, incidentally, Watford. They've brought a few of their fans with them as well. It's a sellout. As I say, just over 5,000 inside Kingfield Stadium for this third round encounter. And Woking have said in the build-up they expect Watford to rack up a cricket score today. As long as they play with the same intensity that Tranmere didn't the other day, then I think they've got a chance of maybe causing an upset, possibly a replay. Excuse me a bit. As the long ball is kicked away by Wilmot up towards Success. Then the ball breaks a little bit now, and it comes now to Queener. Queener now on the turn. Shalabar loses out there, and Piranda loses out, and now here come Watford again. Ball threaded in from the left towards Isaac Success, who was waiting on the edge of the penalty area. Bouncing balls already, and Success trying the overhead from just inside the D, just to the left of the D on the edge of the area. It went way into the stand. It might have even cleared the stand and the camera platform behind it. As they say in cricket, that's gone many a mile. Yeah, tried to do it on the left foot here, never troubling the scorers. And a goal kick has been given to Woking. Watford clear favourites, but in the FA Cup, favourites don't usually win. I mean, if they can take inspiration from what happened at Gillingham and Accrington yesterday, Woking, then they've got every chance in the world of causing a bit of an upset. And Watford will not want to go the same way as Cardiff did, and now Huddersfield did. Success now in towards Hughes inside the area. Hughes touches the ball back, and a chance here now on the edge for Shalabar. 25 from goal. Watford now starting to have a lot of possession here in this opening 2 or 3 minutes. And again, number 17 Parianda takes possession here for Watford. And the ball over the top for a goal kick. And that's a goal kick as we just look at the Martin Tyler there, the famous commentator I've just seen in the background there. We have missed one player off of the team sheet for Watford. We'll try and work out who that is whilst we have a break in play here at the build-up, the sort of the preparation I've put in for this game. It's been sort of hurried really, so I do apologise for the I'm sure there's one name we've left out on the team sheet, because I've counted 10 now on the Watford side, and all the other ties incidentally are no goals, are scoreless. We're just going to check the Watford team through from top to bottom. I'm sure there's one player that we have missed in amongst the starting 11. And we'll bring that to you. It's very difficult when you're preparing for a game, and then you've got to put so much more preparation. It's Daryl Yamat, in fact, number 2. So Yamat is the man that is wearing number 2, but we know he's at I've had to add him to the bottom of the list because we've no room up top for him. But we know he's a defender. Watford have yielded the first quarter of the game whilst we were just adjusting the team lineups. And that's hopefully now sorted everything out, and we've got managed to have got a full bench for Woking and a full first 11 for Watford. I've had to do it so rushed, it's unbelievable, and then you've got to put the work into these Woking players. We're relegated from the National League last season. They're bouncing back very well in the National League South, which is sort of like the 6th tier of English football. The league is usually very competitive. I think Yeri Garcia is used to stadiums like this in his managerial career, but it will be the first of his kind. It'll be the first stadium of this kind for him to have sampled. You usually get heated seats in all the Premier League stadiums around the country, but not today. You don't get the cones here at Woking. They're a small little club that's trying to compete at the top level of non-league football. One day they hope to get into Football League. They've got a stadium that could match that Football League ambition. As Hughes has the possession now, forward in field. Shalabar takes possession midway inside the Woking half. The pitch, as I say, looks in complete and utter condition. It does look an absolute beautiful surface here at Kingfield Stadium. Cleverly now, the former England internationals poise the ball out to the left-hand side, and a real opportunity here for Yamat. Yamat gets the shot in and just wide of the target. It was a fantastic effort from the far side. And a goal kick. It was Peranda, sorry, with the mop of hair, rather. It's not often I've commentated on Watford too much, so I think I've only commentated on them maybe once or twice this season. That was against Burnley, and just wide of the target it was. As I say, you've got your chance to put your views on the comment section. Please keep your comments clean. As Craig Ross, the goalkeeper, takes the kick now for Woking. 0-0 in this, what could be an intriguing third round tie. If Woking were to pull off a shock here, it would be one of the greatest shocks of all time. Premier League opposition dispatched. But Watford will surely come here knowing that they do have a chance. A big chance of going through, but they can't bottle it here. It's a big partisan crowd here at Kingfields. So they know the task ahead of them now, Watford, as Success plays that ball down the line. And that's going to run out to play on halfway for a throw into Woking. Of course, later on in the second half, you'll get your opportunity to do JB Man of the Match. Don't forget to put the name of your player that you want as man of the match, followed by the hashtag JBMLTM. But we'll explain all that in the early in the second half. Anyway, back to number 8. Harry Taylor in possession for Woking, but he was dispossessed. But the ball goes forward towards the right hand side of the goals. Right hand ending, it's in the arms of Craig Ross, who kicks it away right footed. One of these Woking players, a real opportunity to make a name for himself. They've got a chance here on this near side. Very hard to tell the numbers on them because they're dark and it's red as well, which doesn't help identification of the numbers. They are 1 to 11, by the way, the Woking players. There's no squad numbers. It's the old 1 to 11, and then numbers 12 to 19 as regards to substitutes. So no expense spared. It's quite a simple system, really. As Hughes, number 19, keeps possession on the right hand side, and he's got Casey to meet him, and he's past him, and he's past the defender, past the second defender, but then a great challenge there, and here go Watford, and here goes Woking again, and it was a good tackle there by number 11 Loza, who got back there and has bundled down the right hand side, or the left hand side rather. Lovely football this from Woking now. They've got Collier now with a cross into the penalty area. Nathan Collier trying to play the ball in, but it's out of play. Is it? No, it's out of play now. Right on halfway down by the Woking bench. Their manager, of course, Alan Doughton, and the assistant manager, a familiar name to probably most of you who watch the football on Sky these days, Martin Tyler, the football commentator, who actually doubles up in his spare time, free of charge, of course, as the assistant manager of Woking. What a day for him today. Here's Loza again. Loza now running at defenders here. He's going to run at Yarul Yamat on the near side, and it's out for a throw in. And Watford here having a little bit here where they have to go on the defensive back foot. No, a real opportunity here for the captain, Josh Casey, number 3, with the throw in now for Woking. Casey throws it into the penalty area, and the ball is run out of play. Woking figure it's a corner, but it's a goal kick, in fact, to Watford. Number 9, Jake Hyde, the main central striker today. We'll have Greg Hewer on the one flank, and you'll have Jamal Loza on the other. Watford have brought a few fans over as well from Hertfordshire. Excuse me, I've got a bit of a cold coming on. 10 minutes gone then, 10.5 minutes gone here in this third round tie. It's Woking 0, Watford 0, FA Cup. With some shocks from Gillingham yesterday. We saw a shock for Bristol City. Now and then there's a big chance here for Greg Lewer to make the way into the penalty area, and he just got into the right hand side, and Watford got 1 or 2 challenges in, and this is a good little spell here for the National League South side. They're playing 1 or 2 handy 1-2s there, and again, lovely play there. Just couldn't get the ball through to hide the main striker, and it'll be a throw in to Woking, taken by again number 3 Josh Casey. Casey then with the throw in. Near side, deep inside Watford territory, 10 yards from the edge of the Watford penalty box, and the ball back and heads up with a good through ball, but and it almost came off for Woking there. Good positive play there by Toby Edzer, but there was enough green shirted Watford players back as Success holds the ball up there and goes with the defender, who did magnificently well. Number 4 there, Jack Cook. That was good play, and Success is a very pacey player, and Cook stayed with him all the way here, used his strength, didn't make it easy for Success, and Success will think himself quite fortunate there, and he's won a corner for that, because Cook really outstretched him there, and he's no slouch over 100 yards size of Success. Here's a corner to be taken from the near side. Will Hughes to take the corner into the penalty area, and it's stabbed wide. And the back post, I can't tell who it was. It was Messina. Messina at the back post with the first real genuine chance. The ball coming in, there's the flick of Messina there, and I think the goalkeeper, I think you'll find, makes a fantastic save here at the near post. In fact, it's a man on the line. Man on the line made the save, and the ball corner taken quickly, and Will Hughes scores into the right hand corner. Quickly taken corner kick, which Woking didn't get ready for, and in the end Watford and their travelling supporters have the lead. Will Hughes, edge of the area, left footed, found the corner, right hand corner of the net, despite the attempts of Toby Edzer on the line to try and keep it out. An acrobatic attempt by Tony Edzer to try and keep it out on the goal line then. So Watford are in front at Woking. Woking 0, Watford 1 in the third round of the Emirates FA Cup, and well, if they're going to cause a shock now with Dowson's side, they must come from behind. The frustration on Craig Ross-Brace tells the story, but still at 1-0 though, they're still very much involved in this cup tie, so they need to just settle down, Woking, be patient and play the game and not the occasion. I think 1 or 2 of them are at the moment. That's another foul there, right on the edge of the box on the left hand side, and it's Graham Scott going across now, and the first booking after 14 minutes goes to a Woking player. Let's have a look who it is. Number 5, it's Ben Gearing, who's found his man. I think Success was looking for it a little bit. There is contact there, but I'm not sure it was sufficient to warrant a yellow card, unless in fact it's a free kick to the other way. I thought it was a free kick to Watford. It's not. It's Success for diving. Success for diving. Now the referee then, I thought it was a harsh decision. At first I thought he was going to give it to a Woking player, but he hasn't. He's given it to Success, and he's the first man in the book. Well, it seems like Graham Scott of Oxfordshire is standing no nonsense. Good for him. I think that's good, strong refereeing. Still 0-0 here at Kingfield Stadium, and an atmosphere, a cracking atmosphere, which has just been dampened slightly by Watford's early goal here. 15 minutes gone then in the FA Cup. Woking 0, Watford 1. The scoreline here at Kingfield Stadium. And a long ball threaded forward, and a header back by the defender. Why Wilmot goes into the arms of the goalkeeper, Aurelio Gomez. And if there's anything to take heart from for Woking, that Gomez is still a little bit of a liability in goals, although he has tried to improve his game in the last few years. So there may be a little weakness there for Woking to try and exploit, as long as it stays at 1-0 for a good portion of the game. But Watford have had the most possession, 67%, compared with 33%, I think, something like that. And here's Will Hughes now for Watford, who will go up the battle of the two W's, if you like. Woking 0, Watford 1 in the FA Cup. Later to come, full delay commentary of Burnley against Barnsley from yesterday lunchtime. And boy, did we have some fun in that one. You'll be able to hear that one in full a bit later on this evening. But here in the Cup, and on a very, very cold but very, very brightish Sunday afternoon here down south, it's Woking 0, Watford 1. And Watford keep possession. Yamat with the cross, little deflection, falls quite cleanly for the goalkeeper Craig Ross. It's just what Woking shouldn't do. The goals come early enough for them to just not panic and just not worry about things at the moment, because it's not a question of if they can get the next goal here, then everything is there to be played for. And if you have missed the full commentary, you can watch it again, and we will be offering commentary highlights of all our featured FA Cup games in one little 10-minute highlights package, commentary highlights package, a little bit later on the Facebook page and on here, I might add. Woking Watford 1. The scoreline here at Kingfield Stadium, as Hughes goes bundling round the corner, round the blind side there, and a foul by Josh Casey, the captain, and a free kick to Watford. And this really is a special moment for everyone concerned. The chairman actually is called Rosemary Johnson. She's a lady, and it's good to see some ladies in football, especially at the non-league level, where there's quite a few about these days. Good to see the females. Good to see females around in football, and I do welcome the introduction of female commentators in as well. And I just want to get that cleared up as well. I'm a great advocate of that. Anyway, back to the game. It's Yamat playing the ball in, and a great save from point blank range to deny Isaac success in the 6-yard area by Craig Ross. What a superb save! The ball played in. Woking really didn't clear their lines there. Loza got caught in possession. Yamat with a decent cross and a fantastic save from point blank range. Got away from his marker here, number 5, Greering, and a great save there by Craig Ross. It's gone behind for a corner, but a wonderful save from point blank range to deny Isaac success. And a corner kick to Watford though, and they've taken it quickly, cleverly back to Hughes. Hughes hitting it long, but it's wide of all the targets, and it's cleared away by Woking. Will Hughes' goal, incidentally, the goal that separates the two sides. Woking going for promotion, of course, from National League South back into the National League proper. And here comes Perianda. Perianda does well, holds the ball up cleverly now midway inside the Woking half. Woking's most famous FA Cup moment came in 1991 when they beat West Bromwich Albion 4-2 at the Hawthorns, which gained them quite a lot of fame from it, the players of the day, and it put Brian Talbot towards the exit door at the Hawthorns that afternoon. In fact, I think he got sacked not long afterwards at the Hawthorns. Well, not now for Watford, tapping in over halfway. Still 1-0. If you just joined us late, it's Will Hughes with the goal. Gomez hasn't been tested enough in the Watford goal, and that is a bit of a concern. A long ball forward up towards the far side, and it's nodded away. And Wilkin just needs to stop playing the occasion and stop playing the game. They've got to play the game and not the occasion. That's what I would be. If I was Alan Dawson now, I'd be saying to him now: play the match. Don't worry whether it's Watford or whether it's #United, for example. But just play the opponent. Doesn't matter what their reputation is. Make it tough for them. Anyway, free kick to Wilkin, which their number 3 Casey will take. Right-footed into the penalty area, and in it goes. And there's one or two half clearances by Watford players, but they come away with it here. And here's Will Hughes, is having a good match so far, and now Success has got an opportunity here, but the number 20 goes on, Queen, and he hits the shot from around about 25 yards with his right foot, just to the right of centre, and it goes over the crossbar. Success is a little bit furious that he didn't go to the right, and so for Success to maybe cut in and try and score on the angle. Good counter-attack though from Watford. Hughes leading the charge. Queen are taking over, and went for glory. Goalkeeper would have had it covered anyway, because he didn't really make too much attempt. Once again, it almost went out of the ground, to use a cricketing phrase. Woking 0, Watford 1 is the score as Craig Ross takes another goal kick. No shots yet for Woking, or on target. 9 shots for Watford, 4 on target for them. But Woking still very much alive in this FA Cup third round clash, and they've got a free kick. Foul on number 7, Tony Edzer. Foul by Will Hughes, just to the left hand side. Opportunity now knocking this National League South side. If they can get an equaliser, my goodness, we will have a real cup tie on our hands here. One goal for Woking could change all that. Short back to number 3, Casey with a left-footed cross, and it's a dangerous one. Header one, and it was a good header at the back post, and it might have been, I think it was number 5 Greering with the header. Fantastic header there, and the first real test for Aurelio Gomez. And what's more encouraging for Woking, that it was a shot on target. The flag stayed down, or in fact the flag was up, in fact, for offside, in fact, so it wouldn't have counted anyway. I didn't realise the flag had got up for offside at that point, because the header came in and I was just watching the path of the ball. I didn't really see any hint of offside, but the ball's got lost in the toilets, the porter cabins. But we've got the ball back. Almost went into the Jeds. 1-0 to Watford in the FA Cup third round with Emirates. And now here's Hughes. Now the ball threaded towards the right. He can't find Dawel Yamat, and it's out of play for a walking throw in, and they can have a little bit of respite now, the Conference South side. Maybe six leagues between them in the football pyramid. It's hard to comprehend at the moment what these Woking players will be thinking. And the money that's generated from today's tie, from television revenue and gate receipts, will be so priceless to a club like Woking. That'll keep them in business for at least a good 5 years. I think they get £250,000 for a live televised game through the FA's television fund. And the game will not just be televised in the UK, it's been televised around the world in over 50 countries. The FA Cup holds its place as truly a worldwide spectacle, whatever round you're in. This is really Woking's cup final in essence, and they're making a very fist of it at the moment, although Watford have had the better of the possession and the better of the chances so far, and the goal is probably about deserved on the balance of play when you look at it logically, statistically, as Piranda comes forward now for Watford. 1-0 up in this third round game. And here's Yamat now from Hughes' ball. Back to Hughes again. Well, here's the goal scorer playing it in there to success. And here goes Tom Cleverley through the centre. Cleverley with the shot. And it got a deflection. And it was clipped away by the Woking defenders. And Tom Cleverley there was only making his 4th appearance this season, Tom. He went right through the middle. And it looked as if he was going to pull the trigger to make it 2-0. But good defending by the Woking defence. I think it was Greeran that got back in the nick of time to save Woking from going 2-0 down, and that would have been a really, really tough task for them to come back here. Greeran just got in front, got a deflection, and then just hooked it out for a throw-in. Cleverly should have done better there for me. Man with so much top flight experience with the likes of Wigan and Manchester United before that. So much experience he has in his locker, Tom Cleverley. It's untrue. And we'll keep you abreast of all the other third round games, because we've probably got 1 or 2 score flashes coming in at this point. So what we'll do is try and keep you abreast when we've got a breaking play, what's happening elsewhere in the third round of the FA Cup. Manchester City have scored against Rotherham. I'm sure Russ, being a local lad, will not be pleased. He's a Rotherham boy, born and bred, despite the fact that he's a Leeds United fan. But Woking here have got a good free kick here in a very dangerous position. Now this could be an interesting moment in the whole complexion of the game here. If Woking were to score the next goal, as number 3. Casey with the 3 kick, another tester for Gomez, and it was well taken there by the Watford goalkeeper, the former Spurs goalkeeper. It's Watford get a throw in now on halfway. We'll try and get you up to date with all the latest scores as they've happened. Of course, Newport against Leicester to come later this afternoon. And what a game that promises to be down at Rodley Parade. That was also due to be a Russ Burden match, but unfortunately Russ is unavailable. We were cold. And but there you go. Neil Warnock has plenty to say. Not only is he bitter about going out the cup yesterday, he's criticised Nathaniel Clyne for joining Bournemouth and not Cardiff. He has that freedom to do so. Anyway, right, we've got an injury there. Troy Deeney down there. Success has gone down injured, and I think the referee wants a word with number 5 here, Ben Gearin. Yeah, Ben Gearin is being booked. And that's what's happening here. That's the situation. Right, there's several other third round games in progress here. They've all had the same amount of time, 28.5 minutes. It's 1-0 in this game, but elsewhere Oldham are doing really well, holding Fulham to a goalless draw. Man City not having it all their own way, but beating Rotherham by a goal to 0. As we break off for a second, because Yamat is running down the side, the right hand side, into all success, and the ball is out through a goal kick to Woking. To the ironic cheers of the crowd. Right, so Man City 1, Rotherham 0. Millwall 0, Hull City 0 at the Den. Doncaster here on for a little bit of a shock here against Alex Neil's Preston. Preston 0, Doncaster Rovers 1. QPR and Leeds are at 1-1. Barnet, well, could they cause a real upset? High flying Sheffield United 0, Barnet 1 at Bramall Lane is the current scoreline. And of course our game is 1-0 to Watford. Newport Leicester kick off at 4:30 this afternoon, incidentally. And of course Wolves playing Liverpool in the final game tomorrow afternoon, and of course we'll keep you updated with what else happens at half time. But now those are the latest scores, and yeah, it's been an intriguing first half an hour or so, as again, good defending again from Woking, just hooking the ball away. Been a good first half this, really, but I'm sure he'll want more from his team Alan Dowson. Geordie by birth. He's lived down south now for the last 14 years with his family and still has that thick Geordie accent. No Geordie accents on the opposite manager, Javi Grazia. But Watford in the lead. That goal early in the first half from Will Hughes, the difference. As we now go into the final quarter of an hour of the first half here of this third round cup game. The ball knocked back towards Craig Ross. Ross getting in the way there for Woking. Woking, just to remind you, are in red and white harbs. Watford in green. Woking attacking the goal to our left, but they've conceded a free kick here. 31 minutes gone. And Watford now looking for the second goal. It's a foul here on Success. And now an opportunity now for Watford now to potentially go 2 up from this situation. It's a good 30, 25, 28, 30 yards from goal. It's to the left of centre. Peranda will take the free kick, I think. Well, he's one of the candidates anyway to take the free kick. But two other people are as well looking at that as well. It looks like Perianda's going to take the free kick here. I say 28-30 yards from goal. There's 3 or 4 men in that walking well. Perianda with the shot low down. It took a deflection off the bottom of the wall behind for a corner past the left hand upright of Craig Ross. So the danger not over yet for the National League South side. 5th corner of the game for Watford as they look to try and push this advantage home now and get into a 2-goal lead. Ritos and Wilmot both forward from the back, cleverly to take the corner on the far side. As the corner comes in cleverly right footed into the 6-yard area it goes, and it missed everybody in the end, but it will be kept in here by Wilmot. Wilmot now with the cross from the right, and the ball hugged away. Couple of headers won there by Watford players. Still Watford winning by a goal to 0. Cleverly has possession back inside to Perianda. Good turn by him, and now opportunity here. Shelabar has it. Shelabar now 25 yards from goal, has to go back to Yamat though, and now uses cleverly. Now Hughes on the right. Will Hughes now for Watford. Watford looking for this second goal. Hughes in behind the defender. Hughes chips the ball back, but it's gone out of play and over the bar and behind for a goal kick for Woking. And they'll be a little bit relieved it's only 1-0 here, the National League South side, because Watford have really dictated most of the attacking play so far in this first half, which is a little bit of a worry for Woking at the moment. It must be said. Will Hughes' goal is the difference, and it's 1-0 at the moment as Ross takes another kick now, right footed for Woking. Again the flick on by number 10 Lua, but he can't find his man, and here's the other number 10 Success down the right hand side. Hughes is ready to join him. He's played the ball back but behind Will Hughes that time, and Woking should have had a free kick there in my opinion, because their number 8 there was fouled, Harry Taylor, but he wasn't according to Mr. Scott the referee. I did honestly think Harry Taylor was being fouled there deep inside his own heart, but no, not to be. As Wilmot has possession now for Watford, leaves it to Daryl Yamat on the right hand side, then the ball threaded in to Hughes. Now Success turning now inside his own, inside the centre circle, just inside the Woking half, and here goes Perianda again, and another cracking run, and the referee this time thinks Perianda was fouled there. The Watford players are trying to claim simulation again. It's number 2 here is guilty, number 2 Nathan Collier. And well, I don't think there's much doubt about the decision there. Collier did bring down his man. So we go into the last 10 minutes of the first half. It's Woking 0, Watford won if you joined us late in the third round proper of the FA Cup competition. A real nervous moment now for Alan Dawson's side as they look to try and keep it at 1-0 for as long as they possibly can, because at 1-0 you've still got a chance to cause a big upset in the FA Cup. A free kick in a very promising position for Watford, just to the left hand side of the D. Even in line as Cleverly struck it. I think it might have hit the bar. Struck it right footed from the left hand side of the edge of the penalty area, and he struck it with some ferocity. There was dip, there was swerve, there was curl on it. Goalkeeper was caught unawares there, Craig Ross, and it hit the middle of the crossbar, I think. I'd have to have a look at the replay just to confirm what I thought it happened there, but Woking so mighty close to going 2-0 down there in this cup tie. Let's have a look at just looking at the replay here. Good free kick, and yes, it did hit the crossbar. Just hit the crossbar to the left of the centre, but it was a close run thing there for Woking. He'll be very relieved it's only 1-0 at this point. Graham Scott now having words with one or two players. Josh Casey, the captain, being one of them. The referee calling another player over here. Shalabar having lending his ear to the conversation. In fact, I think it's a little bit of a battle between Periander and Josh Casey here. I don't know what Shalabar's. I don't know what business is it of Nathaniel Shalabar's to get involved. He's not skipper in the side. The referee just refereed the game. Doesn't just have a word with the protagonist, the two protagonists, and then get on. There was no need for Shalabar to be involved in that particular conversation. But it's still 1-0 to Watford in the third round of the FA Cup. Woking have still got a chance. Remember, if it's not settled on the day, then we go to a replay a week and a half from now. Woking win a free kick midway inside their own half. Yes, it'll be a replay a week on, I think it'll be a week on Tuesday or Wednesday at Vicarage Road. Periander and Casey having a set to here. I could understand it more from the Woking side. 6 fouls each committed, so it has been quite a, I wouldn't say a dirty game, but it has been very committed. Shall we say, as a free kick comes rifling in towards Gomez from the other goalkeeper, Craig Ross. Bisected everybody. That was an outfield play in Persuasion. And already Gomez has got Will Hughes running down the right hand side, and Hughes gets the ball back from again, and here's Queener inside the penalty area and out of play off the defender Christian Jolly for a corner kick now to to Watford, sorry. Lovely interplay though from both Queener and Will Hughes initially. Nice to see from them. As the ball comes into the penalty area, once again Periander trying to turn. To no avail. Still 1-0 for Watford. The ball played in towards the far side, but good defending on the far side by Nathan Collier. Did really well. Coming up towards the last 6 minutes of the first half. Woking still in with a shout here in this FA Cup third round. Number 9, Jake Hyde, really hasn't had much service from his colleagues. Rosa and Lua have not really been in the game enough for me. I was walking very much near Essex country, Guildford, not too far away from there part of the world. Of course, Watford not too far to travel down from Hertfordshire. At the moment doing a decent job, a professional enough job, and seeing the non-leaguers off at the moment, but at 1-0 it's still a dangerous sort of lead, and the longer Watford stay at 1-0, the more Woking must believe in themselves, and that's what the manager has to get across Alan Dawson. If they're getting at 1-0 down, that's what I feel the message should be getting across. There was a foul on a Woking player, but the referee tried to play an advantage, and in the end it was a little bit wasted there by Woking. Woking appealing that the free kick should have been blown up. They didn't feel there was an advantage, but the referee felt in his own mind it was, and he's trying to explain that to one or two of the Woking players. I suppose he's one of those referees, Graham Scott, who likes to try and keep a game flowing as well, not try and make a game bitty like a certain Mr. Dean would. Although he did well in the game at Bluefield Road yesterday. Well, it's not often I praise Mike Dean a lot as the referee, but it's Watford on the break here. One ball in there towards Hughes and taken quite comfortably by Craig Ross. So we're coming up to the final 3.5 minutes then at Kingfield Stadium down here in Woking. And it's 1-0 to the Premier League side against the Conference South side, the non-leaguers. Woking are not far from disgrace, by the way. They're far from disgrace in any shape or form. They have tried. They're giving it a good go, but at the moment Watford's defence has been very much assured and very much on top here, which will annoy Alan Dawson and Martin Tyler a little bit, because they've really worked hard. I know Martin Tyler has done a few scouting reports on Watford, covering them more or less day in day out on Sky. Covers them quite a lot in the Premier League, so you know about the Watford players quite a lot, and I think that sort of scouting is invaluable if you're a commentator and yet you double up as an assistant manager at a non-league side against the team you're about to face. I just think the occasion's got to one or two of the Woking players, and I think sometimes when you're not used to playing in front of 5,000 people, it can be a little bit frightening, and this is what Messrs Dawson and Tyler must do at half time, and get them in that dressing room and say, look, you're not lost, you're not out of any game, you've got a chance in this second half, have a go. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out, but have a go, try and force Gomez into one or two mistakes, and who knows what might happen. The magic of the cup is still there, and we've seen many a big side leading a cup tie. Remember Newcastle in 1972? Malcolm MacDonald thought he'd headed them through against Hereford, and then they didn't bank on Ronnie Radford coming up with a moment of genius to put Hereford on the way to winning a third round replay. Ricky Jaws getting the winner, of course, that day at Edgar Street in extra time. Certain Mr. Motson was in the box that day, and he launched his glittering career. Anyway, back to today, and here come Watford with Cleverleaf out to the far side. Good football again now. What can Watford do here and try and, as the ball comes in from the left hand side, a little flick, and it was Hughes inside the 6-yard area trying to dink the ball towards the goal, but it was too cute maybe from Will Hughes, and now a foul committed by Chalabar on one of the Woking lads. I think it was number 6 there, Christian Jolly. It was Messina going around the defenders, and really Hughes there was trying to be too cute. Going inside the final minute of the first half, the normal time that is. And of course we'll take our customary 10-minute break here and return with half-time scores from all over the place, because there's another 5 or 6 different cup games taking place, various grounds around the country this afternoon, plus Newport Leicester kicking off at 4:30, and that would be a true spectacle itself. Tomorrow it's Wolves against Liverpool, followed by the 4th round draw. At the moment, as things stand, there will not be a non-league team in the hat for the 4th round proper of this season's FA Cup. There are quite a number of Premier League teams still very much alive in the competition, but Woking at the moment not on as the only non-league representative left in the competition. Remember, there were 700 odd clubs that started at the start in August, all around the country. 730 odd entries for this season's FA Cup competition. We're now 15 seconds into 1 minute of added time as a young Woking fan tries to will his team on. Can they get the equaliser? It's a free kick to be taken here from Josh Casey, who seems to take all the set pieces and all the free kicks here that Woking get. 30 seconds of stoppage time to go. What a moment this could be for Woking, and the whole place would lift off if they were to equalise here. Casey sends the free kick into the Watford penalty area. The header back there, and it was a dangerous header back, but Watford had sufficient men back. 5 seconds to go to half time. Ball kicked away by Wilmot, and that should be that really as regards the first half. We've played the minute. We're just playing a little bit of time over the 1 minute now because of the decision for a free kick. But it's been a decent first half. Watford certainly dominated it as Graham Scott allows the throw-in to be taken, and that's all he allows. So a little bit of work for Alan Dawson to do, and Martin Tyler to do. Woking have battled bravely, but Watford have certainly been the better side in terms of chances created and on balance of play, and certainly in possessions terms as well. But Woking have been far from disgraced as they go in at the break. Still all to play for in the second half. But at half-time here, it's not working out for the non-leaguers. They trail Premier League Watford at half-time by 1-0. And we'll be back for the second half in 10 minutes' time. Plus all the scores from around the country taking place at the moment in the third round of the FA Cup. So we're going to take a 10-minute break. Join us again in 10 minutes here in the third round of the FA Cup. Welcome back to Woking against Watford, coming to you from Kingfield Stadium here on the JB Claret YouTube channel. Third round where Watford are winning by a goal from Will Hughes in the early part of the first half, and well, we await substitutions with bated breath, of course, but let's try and keep you abreast before the second half gets underway of all the other scores are happening around the country. There's been a lot of football at this moment in time, but let's see what's been happening. 1-0 if you just missed it to Watford. So this is the scores as we've got them at the moment in the third round of the FA Cup, and one or two unsurprising results here at the scorelines at the moment in the third round, Manchester City being one of them. So let's have a look at what's been going on then in the third round proper today. Fulham 0. These are all half times, by the way, the other 2 o'clock games. So Fulham and Oldham 0-0 at Craven Cottage. A good performance there from Oldham Athletic, terrific performance. Man City though 3-0 ahead against Rotherham, and it looks as if it's going to be a very, very routine victory. Paul Warne and Pep Guardiola, 2 lookalikes going up against each other there. Millwall and Hull 0-0. Millwall have been doing okay in the FA Cup in recent years. They got to the quarter-finals 2 years ago. Preston 0, Doncaster 1 is a half-time score at Deepdale. QPR 1, Leeds 1 at half-time at Loftus Road. At Bramall Lane, a real shock on here. Barnet of the National League, Barnet winning by a goal to 0 there against Sheffield United, and Woking, as we're hearing, 1-0 up. So Barnet winning, that's the big shock. Let's tell you a little bit about that game. Colthurst after 21 minutes with the penalty, and the League 2 side ahead against Sheffield United. Non-league Barnet are in Orange Road, so back to non-league. So there's 2 non-league sides left in the cup as we welcome you, as we are properly back now to the second half. Man City heading through, so again no problem for one of the bigger guns. Leicester's turn to try at 4:30 later this afternoon. This sort of ground, Kingfield Stadium, packs around 5,000 in as Watford in green come out for the second half, and so too did the red and white half shirts of Watford as the teams come out onto the field for the start of the second half. No changes as I can make out. So City going through as things stand. Barnet the only non-league team at the moment guaranteed to go through. Oldham are doing fantastically well down at Craven Cottage to hold them for a goalless draw. Remember, if it's not settled today, they've got to try in 10 days time in a replay, and that will be decided on the evening. Of course, replays only go on now until the 4th round this season, because the FA at the start of the year, or just at the end of 2018, decided to abolish the 5th round replay for this season. And well, purely the simple reason is that one of the reasons is to sort of put less pressure on the bigger teams. Again, it's just done to suit the bigger teams, and I find that a nuance, because you're just toying with the history of the FA Cup to suit the bigger teams, to suit the Manchester Cities and Liverpools and Manchester Uniteds of this world. That is not what just the FA Cup is all about. It's all about teams like Woking and Watford are playing out a real blood and thunder cup tie here this afternoon Watford nicking it at the moment by a goal to nil. Will Hughes the scorer. His goal, and around about the 19th minute mark from the number 19, sailing Watford at the moment, but Woking not out of this by any stretch of the imagination, and they've got the capacity. And I'm sure Alan Dawson will have had them G'd up at half time. Martin Tyler as well, the assistant manager, not yet out, I don't think, for the second half yet, Martin, but I'm sure you'll be watching this second half with bated breath. So away we go. No changes in the teams. Let me go through them very quickly. Woking with Craig Ross, Nathan Collier, Ben Gearin, Jack Cook, Josh Casey, Harry Taylor, Christian Jolly, Toby Headster, Craig Lower, Jake Hyde and Jamal Loza. Watford, Aurelio Gomez, Wilmot, Britos, Massina, Tom Cleverley, Nathaniel Shalabar, Queener, Will Hughes the scorer, Isaac Success, Perianda and Gerald Yamat. Just to confirm, and Gomez incidentally is the club captain today. So here go Watford clearing the ball down the field. Just to remind you of the substitutes: Hester Cook, Harry Bradbury, Armani Little, Paul Hodges, Nicky Wheeler, Bertie Scolatti the goalkeeper, and Daniel Spence. For Watford it's Mariappa, Delafeo, Troy Deeney, Seamer the keeper, Femina, Navarro and Dahlberg the referee, of course, Graham Scott from Oxfordshire. And this really will be a tough test, as the number 8 there, Harry Taylor, is fouled. One or two alone from Championship clubs, youngsters getting the opportunity for some first team football here at Woking. And Watford really are in the driving seat, but at 1-0 it's not a safe lead, so Woking like to attack, but it's through to Aurelio Gomez in the Watford goal. Well, the situation is clear for Alan Dawson and his side. They can get the next goal, then the game is well and truly on as a spectacle. The ball threaded back now to Wilmot, the centre back here for Watford. 1-0 ahead they are, but at 1-0 it's still a very precarious and very, very dangerous lead. So anything could still happen in the FA Cup. This is why we love the FA Cup competition. City 3 up, remember. Leeds and QPR drawing 1-1. Barnet, the non-league side, look as if they're going through to the next round as well, as things stand at Sheffield United. And the linesman just send the linesman there for well, but the advertising boards brings a little bit of light relief to the proceedings. Oh, what we love about this FA Cup competition. And the linesman, I'm pleased to report, he's fine and up on his feet okay, as the cross comes in from the far side, and there's still a chance inside for success, but the ball just couldn't reach him in the end. And still a chance here for Queener on the edge. Queener, good turn, slipped a little bit, played a 1-2 there with Perianda. Cleverly now has it, number 8. And now infield to Perianda. Perianda now 25 from goal, just to left and centre. Now a chance now for Shalabar to hit it right footed, hit the defender, and Woking can bring it away to relative safety. Now, though they've only got one man forward, and that was Jake Hyde. Well, it certainly has been a real blood and thunder cup tie here, as Woking now attacking the goal to our right, looking to get back into this game. One goal could change the complexity of this entire occasion. Here on the JB Clark YouTube channel, the magic of the cup. Later today it's Newport against Leicester, and then tomorrow night it's Wolves up against Liverpool. Liverpool and Manchester City played out that epic on Thursday night, you may remember, which ended 2-1 to Manchester City. It's got a different sort of atmosphere, a real proper cup tie atmosphere, a real proper football atmosphere, and a real proper football match. Not saying that Manchester United and Liverpool's a proper football match, but in terms of blood, guts and thunder, this has been a true taste of FA Cup football here this afternoon. And now a chance here for Loza to keep the ball in, and Loza battling very, very well, and he goes down. The referee says free kick, And Woking have a stance here with Josh Casey to reload into that penalty area from the left-hand side. Lovely flick, and Loza then got away from Liamat. Then Shalabar just had more than a fistful of shirt. And what an opportunity now. Casey takes the set pieces from both sides. Free kicks in the lot. The whole shebang. Forward is number 4 Cook. 2 is Collier. Plenty forward here for Woking. What can Casey, the captain, do with this set piece? 2-4-5 in the penalty area for Woking as this corner, or this free kick is floated in. It's too high and it went over everybody's head and out of play, level with the Watford penalty area to Watford. And a real disappointment for the crowd there, because Woking will be hoping that set pieces do pay off this afternoon. Plenty of fans inside this packed ground. Remember, Woking have never been, last time they got beyond the third round, 1991. That's the sort of marker they have to lay down for themselves now. As Woking look to try and get back into this game. It is very difficult, however, just to pick the pace up a little bit. But they've got a chance in the second half, Woking. But I'll say this about them: they've battled bravely. They've looked really, really strong. They haven't really given too much of an inch this afternoon to their more illustrious opponents, the 84 finalists Watford. Semi-finalists as recently as 2007, and they played Manchester United at Villa Park and lost by a goal to nil, or in fact lost by 4 goals to 1, I should say, that afternoon. And that looks a foul there. A free kick, is it? No, said the referee. It did look a foul there on Hyde, but the referee wasn't convinced. And the ball laid over the top. Success, did he handle it? I thought he handled the ball there. Referee plays an advantage. Success was fouled, but Hughes has possession. Graham Scott again letting the game flow if he can, and Success trying to go through, and again good tackles. First a combination really of Ben Gearing and Jack Cook there getting in the way to deny Success a pot shot at Craig Ross's goal, and that was really good defending. Fantastic defending there by the 2 centre backs. Between them did a magnificent job. And then Harry Taylor shepherded the ball back to Ross. So 3 defenders there, keeping Woking in the game here. But 1 goal here could like the blue touch paper here for Woking. And as an old phrase in football, you know that it only takes 1 second to score a goal. But Woking have been very much alive in this cup tie. From the first whistle to the last, and a bit of pushing and shoving going on over on the far side, involving Will Hughes and the captain again, Casey. He's only been spoken to by referee Scott. Just letting the occasion get to him there, the captain. Hughes bit back as much as he could chew as well. And that's the honest truth. Still 1-0 here. Tense affair. And what can Watford do here now? This is going to be a real interesting second half here. Free kick back to given to Woking. Ross to take from the left hand side. Will flick on and the ball is hooked away. This is our second live cup game of the weekend, as we saw Blackpool quite easily beaten in the end by a very rampant Arsenal side. But here's a chance now for Periander. Periander with a shot just wide of the target, just right on Ross's right hand post and behind for a goal kick, but Well, that's Watford's best bit of play in the second half. Periander doing well, taking off a couple of newcomers, getting away from Toby Edza and pulling the shot just wide of the right hand post of Craig Ross. Javi Grazia, the Watford coach, or the manager. Still 1-0, very precariously for Watford. Although I've had a lot of the play. Sometimes when you have a lot of the play and you don't take your chances. 15 shots at goal, 4 on target, and only 1 goal to show for it. No shots whatsoever for Wilkin, neither at goal or on target. Something they do really need to put right in the second half, the non-leaguers. 10 gone in the second half, still Wilkin 0, Watford 1. Third round FA Cup. We'll also keep you up to date with what's happening elsewhere in the other third round games, as they all battle for a place in the fourth round of the FA Cup. Manchester City now have stretched their lead to 4-0 against Rotherham, whose probably realistic ambitions is to stay in the Championship. But it's the FA Cup we're concentrating on here, and a chance here for Woking inside the penalty area, and a very good opportunity there. Loser was flicking the ball on. In fact, the ball was flicked on by the number 9, trying to play it in towards Greg Loser, but he couldn't get on the end of it, and I think the flag had been called per offside in any case by the linesman, or was he? No, the linesman on the near side actually kept his flag down. Gabriel Jesus scored the 4th goal. Oldham are behind incidentally against Fulham, 1-0 to Fulham. City 4 up, as I've said there. Hull have taken the lead against usual cup battlers Millwall. Doncaster still winning at Preston. QPR Leeds deadlocked at 1-1. I think standard replay at Ellen Road would be sufficient. And Sheffield United 0, Barnet 1. So we've got the real shock on at Bramall Lane, Sheffield. The name was Sheffield Wednesday drew yesterday with Luton Town. No goals in that one at Hillsborough. But here at Kingfield Stadium, it's Periander now for Watford. They've got to make one of these chances count. Periander now. And a chance here for Clement, laying the ball in. Hughes on the right hand side with the cross, and again the Woking defence doing expertly well to get the ball away. They defended really stoutly, but they need to get the ball up the other end of the park to give themselves a chance of getting back into this one. And the referee just having a word or two there with Nathan Collier, just to say that 1 or 2 of your tackles boarded on the little bit of the late side there. Try and keep them in check if you can, please. You might have to take the throw here. Watford have gone on the bench, the likes of Troy Deeney and Delafeo, who can certainly. Deeney has been in good form. They played a huge part in that 3-3 draw against Bournemouth over the Christmas and New Year period, which was an absolutely entertaining game on Wednesday night. It was a fantastic game for the neutral, I would have thought. 6 goals shared in the first half down at the Vitality. Bournemouth went out to Brighton and Hove Albion yesterday by 3-1. So far we could have a shock on with Barnet against Sheffield United, to the ones we saw yesterday with Gillingham. And it's going to be number 14 here, Little, about to come on. Amani Little, that's a very nice name, Amani. Has he got the Amani code to break down this resolute Watford defence? Martin Tyler giving him one last piece of advice, a pat on the back. Now they're talking tactics, and in just a second or two he will come on. Here was Woking look to try and come up with a new formula, and a good round of applause for the man who's coming off. I have to say, Woking in the first hour worked tirelessly hard, but without any reward or testing Aurelio Gomez that much, really. The only save we had to make was didn't count for much. So Harry Taylor's gone off, And Armani Little comes on. No doubt words from Martin Tyler ringing in his ears. So throwing to Woking, but they have to get it up the other end of the field if they're going to affect the equaliser here in this intriguing third round game. They're still in it at 1-0, but they haven't produced any of their better football so far. But it is very, very difficult when you're playing against very big top flight opponents, 6 leagues ahead of you in the pyramid system. 6 leagues apart this game, and that shows you really the golfing class. But Watford should be more than a goal up, if truth be told. But having said all that, Woking are still battling on, and there's still hope in this game at 1-0 that they can find an equaliser, and maybe they could find one here. But it's still anyone's for the taking. As Loza goes on a run, but the ball out of play for a throw-in, and it's midway inside the Watford half. Encouraging moments now for Woking. We've played over an hour here at Kingfield Stadium in the third round proper of the FA Cup. Woking 0, Watford 1 is the scoreline. A little bit of pushing and shoving going on there, but the throwing from Woking didn't come to much. And here come Watford now, looking to try and wreck Woking's dreams once again with a second goal. Ball played back into the area, and again well intercepted by the aforementioned Armani Little. Fantastic football again by fantastic defence, I have to say, by Woking. They've been frustrating their defending. I just needed to get it right at the other end of the file to try and force maybe a replay at Vicarage Road, and that would be another major money spinner for Woking. Premier League team away in a replay, and another possible televised match. They're going to earn at least well over £250,000 in terms of television coverage and gate receipts alone here at Woking, which 250,000 is small fry to bigger cause, but to a club like Woking it is an absolute goldmine of money to get, and they've deserved every single penny of it getting to this stage of this season's FA Cup run. I think the whole cup run has earned them a good £250,000 anyway, as the shot comes in, and a first shot at target, and it came from the substitute Little. Although around about 30 yards from goal, more or less dead central, hit it straight at the goalkeeper. Little awkward bouncing in front of him, but Gomez stood up to the task very, very well. But the first shot at goal and on target, and Armani Little, the substitute, is the first man from Woking to provide it. But here come Watford now looking for their second goal, and it's cleverly now to Shalabar. Here is Shalabar, 2-0. And here's number 11, Messina. Good ball out towards Periander. Periander, good run. Nice turn. He's enjoying himself on this. It's been a nice lush service. But you go to a non-league ground, you expect either a 3G pitch or a real mud bath of a pitch. But I have to say the ground staff here have done a magnificent job. And Armani Little is getting involved in some afters here. There's a little bit of afters going on as frustrations boil over. Messina involved as well. There's one or two players getting involved quite necessarily, and referee Graham Scott has just got a little bit of sorting out to do here. Woking letting frustrations here from Watford boil over. Well, first of all, there was a slip there, and it was number 20 Queen involved. He goes down, and then why Messina had to get involved, I have no idea. Just want to be retaliation there, the Watford player, and that's not classy. Watford have got their 3 kick, just get up and get on with it. Woking 0, Watford 1 is the score. But whatever game plan Woking are trying to unsettle Watford, it's not moving Watford too unduly at the moment. They've taken the 3 kick short cleverly now to number 11 Messina. Into the penalty area it goes, and it'll come for Wilmot on the far side. Wilmot can't keep it in play. In fact, he came off a defender, so a throw into Watford down by the far corner quadrant, almost in line of the Woking 6-yard line. Watford 25 away potentially from a 4th place in the 4th round draw, when they'll join a host of big name clubs, except for Cardiff, who lost, Huddersfield, who lost, as the ball gets threaded into the penalty area and hooked away. Bournemouth, who also lost to Premier League opposition yesterday. And of course one Premier League team has to go tomorrow, because Wolves and Liverpool face off tomorrow night in the third round, and Leicester could potentially fall by the wayside today. They've got a tricky little game down in South Wales against Newport, which I think will be an absolute crackerjack as well. Kick off for that one, incidentally, 5:30. Manchester City are going quietly through, and Martin Tyler chatting with Javi Garcia, who he probably interviews on a weekly basis, so he knows Martin very, very well. And now, as Woking have to get on with the game now, good sportsmanship there from Martin Tyler. The ball again out the ground, and this very cramped but very passionate arena here. Woking second, of course, in the National League South, holding their own here against Premier League opposition, but trailing to Javi Garcia's Watford by 1-0. But they're on the attack now, and the ball just doesn't break for them again in the end. And it's been that's been the story of the match so far. They've looked to try and be positive every time they've tried to attack, but the Watford defence have been so blanket in defence that it just hasn't happened for them. But they might get a chance here now with Greg Lower now. Now a chance here for the substitute Little. And Little showed too much of that. Went in very committed, but the challenge was fair. It was a fair challenge. Referee Scott letting it ride there. Long ball hit forward there by Greerin to the far side, and Lower now takes possession, but so too does Messina. Good defending there by the number 11 for Watford, and then down goes Perianda. But the throw-in has gone. It's gone against Watford. I thought the referee was going to blow for a free kick, but the free throw-in has been taken here by Woking, and it was well, that came as a little bit of a surprise there as Collier took the throw-in. I thought it was a free kick to Watford, I have to say, but the referee knew better. Possession stats with 66 minutes gone, 29% to Woking, and that is 71% for Watford, but yet not making anything pay. That second goal still eluding them, and that is a real worry if you are a Watford fan, because the longer this goes on, the more chance Woking will feel that they have a chance of maybe sneaking an equaliser or two. In the other games, Preston have equalised at home to Doncaster. Barnet, though, still winning, and so too are Fulham, Manchester City, Hull as well. And well, if we're going to have a real finish here, it's got to happen inside the next 23 minutes here. If Woking can get the next goal, then it's all in the melting pot, and we could have a major cup story here. Barnet on the only side at the moment, guaranteed a place in the fourth round, possibly, if they can hold on against Sheffield United. That will be a real story here. Double substitution being lined up now as Woking go for broke to try and stay in the FA Cup. Worst case scenario would be to go out and take the money, of course. It's a no-lose situation for them, really, because they've made quite a fortune out of the Cup this season, Woking. To be in the third round is very lucrative, and to get a Premier League team and on television at your own place is going to be special. And well, Woking fans, if you're listening, turn away right now, because the big bulky Troy Dean is going to come on, and we're going to see a substitution, double substitution for Woking. Tony Hedzer is about to come off for Woking, and it looks as if it's going to be another tactical change, and Paul Hodges, number 15, will come on, and Harvey Bradbury will come on, for Woking as well, we're told. And here is another substitute. So Harvey Bradbury comes on, and it's going to be Greg Lower coming off and Harvey Bradbury coming on. So Harvey with an opportunity here to make himself a possible hero alongside Paul Hodges, and they've used all three. So Nicky Wheeler, Hester Cook, Scarlatti and Spence will not get an opportunity this afternoon, but they're going to be part of a real Woking story here today if they can get back into this game. Troy Deeney waiting to come on for Watford over on the far side, I've noticed. And he's one player that I'm sure Woking didn't want to see come on the field at this point in the game, but if you want to knock out the best, you've got to try and beat them. Here's Periander now on the far side, on the near side. He cuts inside. Periander inside the area. The ball might break for Clever inside the area, but again, good defending. And I think it might have been Bradbury who got back there to deny Tom Cleverley a chance at goal that would have put Watford 2-0 ahead. They still might here because Cleverley has possession. Plays it out to the far side where Yamat is lurking. Then back inside. And the ball given away now. Real chance here for Woking to try and string one or two opportunities together. Well, there was a man free over on the near side, and it just needed a switch from left to right flank, and they might have been in there. But fourth official, Roger East, holds up his board, and a real test now for Ben Gearing and his defenders, because up comes Isaac's success and on comes the club captain Troy Deeney. But Aurelio Gomez will, I believe, keep the armband. A double substitution, in fact. Off comes Periander, who's been involved in the thick of the action, most of the action, and Ken Seamer will take his place. He's not actually a goalkeeper, as I initially thought, because I haven't covered Watford enough really over the last few weeks. So I've been a little bit behind with them in terms of preparation. Free kick against Woking that time. We're now going to the final 20 minutes. We're way past the halfway mark of the second half. We've had 71.5 minutes. And look at that. Fouls committed. 19 so far. 9 committed by Woking. 10 committed by Watford. This has been a little bit of a dirty game. Although credit to the referee. He's tried to let the game go as much as he possibly could. As Hughes sails in. But again, the flag was up. A free kick to Woking. 18 minutes left to play. It's still 1-0. Foul by Will Hughes on the defender. And Craig Ross, the goalkeeper, not really been tested that much in the second half. It has been a bit bitty, this cup tie, in the second half, it must be said. But the spectacle is still on. The attention for a real story is still very much alive for Woking if they can get themselves an equalising goal here in the next 18.5 minutes or 17.5 minutes now. There's still plenty of time left, but the time will be desperately against them now. All the other scores are unchanged, incidentally, and we'll keep you abreast of any further developments as we get them later on in the programme. As the ball is threaded through, the goalkeeper deciding to stick or twist. The goalkeeper's there and doing magnificently well. So corner kick, in fact, to Watford, and they look to try and see themselves over the line with a second goal. The crossing from the far side towards Will Hughes. The ball picked up now by Shalabar in the centre of the park. Ball knocked out towards the far side, and it's Seamer now. Seamer running around his man. Seamer towards the byline. Cross back, and there is the second goal for Watford. Troy Deeney inside the 6-yard area, and that could kill off any real romance that Woking may have had, or any opportunity they may have. Disappointment there for the goalkeeper Ross. Beaten the second time. Maybe he doesn't deserve it, but Watford have made their Premier League costs absolutely tell here at Kingfield today. They've taken a while and they've had many chances today, but today they've took their chance and have gone 2 up. And here's the opportunity again. Good ball back by the 2 substitutes. Seaman with the ball back across, just to lose the goalkeeper here a fraction, and that's all it needs. And in came Troy Deeney to finish the job off and put Watford 2-0 into the lead. And well, Alan Dawson, what can you do? Agony on the faces of the Woking players who have really given it a real go here this afternoon. But I suppose if you only have 1 shot on target, I suppose you get what you deserve. And that's not being unkind to Woking, because they have worked very, very hard. But Troy, well, he adds to a couple of goals he got against Bournemouth in the league on Wednesday. And Woking, having played all their 3 jokers, now find themselves 2 goals down with a quarter of an hour left plus stoppage time. And it looks likely now that they're going to not go as far as they did back in 1991 unless they come off with a 3-goal barrel, a very quick 3-goal barrel in the last quarter of an hour, which would be an amazing story. Don't get me wrong, but I can't see it happening now with Seamer with the fresh legs. Seamer back here to Deeney again on the left. Deeney with a decent looking cross. Asked a little bit of Tom Clevery, but he's kept it in by the far corner flag. Did really well. Yamat now back to Clevery. Offside against Tom Clevery, the former England man. And a 3 kick to Woking. But it's the Watford fans in the background that are making all the rackets at the moment. A professional performance by Grazia's side, but poor old Alan Dawson, he felt that his side could cause a major upset today. That's why we've got the television cameras in tow. And well, it was an opportunity for them today, but it just hasn't worked for them. They've played it. I think the problem for Woking today was the occasion. They had to play the match, not the occasion, and I think they've absolutely played the occasion, and I think they've got it just a little bit wrong here today. But no disrespect to them, they've done really well even to reach this stage as a National League South side. They have not disgraced their league 1 iota. Foul on Will Hughes by the number 4, Jack Cook. The kick has gone backwards now for Watford. And now we'll be playing a little bit of ticky-tacky, a little bit of exhibition stuff now that they've got that 2-goal lead. As Seaman bursts through into the Woking penalty area, and again a fantastic tackle there by Cook. Really was good defending there. Seaman prostrate on the floor, but Cook across, gets the ball cleanly. Good tackle, no hesitations at all by the defender. Did really well there, Jack Cook, and Seaman has gone down hurting himself, as Watford now look to see this out. And we've got about 12.5 minutes to go, and at the moment it's looking increasingly like Watford will be not joining Huddersfield, Bournemouth and Cardiff out of this season's FA Cup. Man City are all but through against Rotherham. Fulham are 1 up against Oldham. It has really been a tough day really down there today, but even so, fantastic performance. They've done amazing to get this far really. The FA Cup really does provide huge and terrific excitement. And Troy Deeney having a word or two there with the I think that's a light-hearted moment from Troy. And he taps in that 2nd goal. Just seeing a replay on the television monitor. Well, at the moment it's Barnard who are creating the biggest shock of them all at the moment. Well, before we leave you at around about 4 o'clock, we will give you all the results from all the other games that kicked off at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Don't forget, later we've got a recording of yesterday's commentary between Burnley and Barnsley, which kicked off yesterday lunchtime. Will Hughes, who got the first goal is coming after a good reception from here, the Watford supporters. Roberto Perez, first comment, and it's come after 79 minutes. How has he played, Parianda? He's played okay, actually. He's done well. 1 or 2 flash points, but in terms of good skill, he's been very, very good. And I actually missed that substitution whilst I was turning away. Shalabar conceding the corner. And, well, they've done their best, Woking. There's no doubt about that, and they've tried to dog in, and it's been very difficult, really. The substitutions from Watford have really made the difference, and it's Seamer with a corner from the near side as Watford look to finish with a flourish in towards the penalty area, and headed by Dini and headed out for a corner. Good corner again from Seamer. I'm listening from Botoga. Thank you for your comments. Well, it's nice to hear from people from abroad. The FA Cup's certainly a worldwide occasion. Here comes the corner from Cleverley from the far side this time. Oh, I just thought for a moment it might have been 3. One Watford player really threw himself at that and on the edge of the 6-yard area. Now a chance here for Seamer to cross the ball in again towards the penalty area. Yamat knocks it out, or concedes the throw. Navarro, I can confirm, replaced Will Hughes, incidentally, as that ball is threaded in, and that's going to go out of play for a throw-in. 9 to play. Woking 0, Watford 2 in the FA Cup third round. And later we'll have delayed commentary of yesterday's cup tie between Burnley and Barnsley from Turf Moor. And I can tell you there was 1 or 2 very interesting and controversial moments from that match between those two Lancashire and Yorkshire sides. And of course Cleverley now to come forward. Ball hooked back. And here's Seaman now for Watford. 2 goals ahead in the FA Cup. We saw Blackpool come unstuck against a very much changed Arsenal side, which just had too much in the tank. Maybe Blackpool had a few more of their fans in, and maybe just put their pride against the oysters to one side. But one day yesterday, and they might have had a chance yesterday in fact, but they did play well for the first 10 minutes, and then Arsenal just took control and could have won it by more than the 3 they won it by. And now Watford have won a free kick. It has been a bit of a disappointment, the televised games that they picked. Tranmere was a complete disappointment really for them, because 7 goals against Tottenham. I mean, it's not really worrying Mickey Mellon, who was the beaten manager that day, but when you got the television coming up, that should be an incentive for players to go out there and try and do their very level best. Woking have tried their best, but they've only managed to register 1 shot at goal, and they've got a free kick to defend here. Tom Cleverley to take it from the right hand side of the Watford end, as Watford now look to finish with a real flourish as the ball into the penalty area, flicked on, and that's going to go out for a throw-in for Woking, I think. Yes, Woking. Like the fact that can go out for offside. Yeah, Troy Deeney was caught offside there, but he'll be a relief man, Mr. Grazia. His side surely now, barring accidents, safely through into the next round of the last 32 of the FA Cup, 4th round. So the last 32 beckons for Watford. They were safe enough. You should be in the league. They've got enough. Should have enough points in the bag and get enough points to stay in the division for a 5th consecutive year. As Deeney holds the ball up here for the Hornets and finds number 20 here, Queener. Queener can't find his man. Got a deflection off one of the Woking players, and it's a throw-in. But I've got to say the Woking lads have really done tremendously well, and I've got to give them big praise for a cup tie, actually making their part in a cup tie which really had all the hallmarks in it, and I'm sure the money will come in handy for Chairman Rosemary Johnson as well. But here's a chance now for Britos to come charging forward at 2-0. He might as well have a go at charging forward and try to make the scoreline a little bit more judge where we are in terms of the balance of play, and it has been Watford's really on terms of balance of play. They've deserved to go through on that, and if their top scorer had not have been injured, Kretschmar, who had to miss out, then it may have been a different story for Woking. But that's the way it goes sometimes. Cup time football is usually like that. Coming up towards the last 5 minutes then, plus stoppage time. I'm sure Woking will not want to, probably want to see the back of these 5 minutes and then just get on and concentrate, which when the money will come in handy. The cup run has been a fantastic bonus for them. To get to the third round is no mean achievement for a club of their size, but their main aim is to get back in that National League proper, the top tier of non-league football, to get back in the conference, and they'll try and do that this season. They're still in a very good position, second place at the moment. They've put up a very good fight here against top tier Watford. Remember, Woking, you've got to make it clear the class of team that Woking have been up against. They're from the 6th tier of English football in the pyramid system. They're 6 leagues away from the Premier League. It's a long way between the Conference South and the Premier League. That's how the golfing classic has been. And Watford, in theory, 2-0 up is a fair reflection of things, but here come Woking looking for something back. Oh! Inside the 6-yard area, and it was a chance there for Harvey Bradbury. That was the best chance maybe that Woking have fashioned inside the last 4 minutes. A lovely cross there by Joey, and it just needed to keep the header down there, Bradbury, and that was one back at least for Woking. And a little bit of pride. Bangs his fist on the floor in frustration. That was a real opportunity there, just to give the cup tie a little bit of an edgy feel to it, but it just wasn't meant to be. Goal kick to Watford, and Aurelio Gomez still has his clean sheet very much intact. And here goes Deeney down the left hand side for Watford. They're looking to finish it once and for all now. Deeney on the edge of the area. Deeney with the right foot hit the defender again. You have to say the Woking defenders have worked tirelessly hard to keep the score at 2-0. With the amount of shots and chances that Watford have had throughout the 87 minutes we've actually been playing, I have to say more power to the Woking lads. They've done really, really well. But it's going to be Watford's day unless something amazing happens here in the last 3 minutes for stoppage time. Every vantage point taken up here. Loads of high-rise flats behind the ground, or well, posher flats I should say, not high-rise like Del Boy and Rodney from Only Fools and Horses. They've given themselves a real good account of themselves. They haven't disgraced themselves in front of the world today, Woking. The supporters have been good-humoured, good-natured. It's been a remarkable day so far, and I'm going to give the man of the match, in fact, to Will Hughes. I thought he played magnificently well, and I think he was probably the ultimate difference on the day. I know Seamer and Deeney combined for the second, but Will Hughes has not really put too much wrong there. Been a very professional performance by him, and Will Hughes will get the JB Man of the Match award. With 90 seconds or so of the normal time left to play, and it's Woking 0, Watford 2, but Harvey Bradbury had the chance as the cross comes in from Loza into the penalty area. It might break to Bradbury inside the penalty area, but it couldn't be done. And now it's a chance for Watford at the other end. It's Troy Deeney. He's up against Collier, and in the end Collier held him up enough and did well. And the official attendance 5,717, and that is a fantastic turnout, and I'm sure it'll be valuable gate money for Woking who have made something like $250,000 on this cup run alone. In terms of TV and gate receipts and everything else, they've made quite a bit of money out of this game, and all power to them, and that will help surely finance and a bit more of the promotion push. And their main aim is to get back into the conference, the National League proper for next season, and really make a better fist than what they did last season. Inside the final 15 seconds of the normal time here at the end of the second half. Well, barring accidents now, Watford are there. I don't think there's much arguing about that. But Woking have done non-league football absolutely proud and deserve a lot of credit. Well, they've got another 4 added minutes to enjoy the fun and the fare of the cup. But surely, even with 4 minutes of added time, you would still think Watford have enough in the tank just to see the job out, go win the game, keep a clean sheet, and come away knowing that they could have been threatened as a shock, but haven't. I do apologise there. That was me talking in the background on my mobile phone. But it's been a good account of themselves. But here they come now, Woking, looking to try and get back into this. And Bradbury did well, so too did Loza. And a corner kick, and they're not giving up yet by any stretch of the imagination. That's good to see. Now then, can they at least salvage a bit of pride? They've got a corner here, and it's going to be Casey with it. Didn't reach the near post. We played 1 of the 4 minutes. Wilkins still having a go. Good to see. But here come Watford now. It's 2 against 1 in their favour. And Deeney's onside as well. And the ball played across to Troy Deeney. Deeney's first touch was a little heavy. And in the end, the shoulder bar could not be found. And Woking got away with it there. But Watford really made a complete mess of themselves there. That should have been... Well, I thought Deeney might have took that first time. Confidence oozing in that. But anyway, here's Loza. Loza now to the byline. Keating's feet goes down. And I think a penalty's been awarded for Woking. Or has it? Well, I heard a big cheer go up here. It's certainly outside the box. It started outside. Well, they thought it was a penalty. I thought it was a penalty initially, but the push, if there is a push, it would have been outside. He's claiming very hard for a penalty, but I think it's not a foul. I thought it was a penalty at first. I was just taken in by the cheers of the crowd. It seemed to be a Woking cheers because it was quite a loud cheer. I could hear over my headphones, but it wasn't a penalty at all. It was a goal kicking tact. It turned out to be for Watford. Oh dear. The joys of cup football. 90 seconds left, just under of the entire stoppage time. But credit to Woking, they haven't given it up by any means. They've tried their best. It's not going to be enough today, but my word, they've given a little bit of an examination to Watford. And the only thing I would say negatively about Woking, they just haven't attacked Watford enough, and maybe on terms they've played the occasion and not the actual game. And I think that's been the real disappointment from Woking, as Alan Dawson will no doubt point out to his troops afterwards. But they can't moan at the result. I think the result was never in doubt, but the chairman won't be too unhappy. Rosemary Johnson, a few hundred thousand quid will be welcome to the club's coppers as they look to get back into the National League at the first time of asking, having been relegated the previous season. The last 25 seconds or so of the second half, and Woking not far from disgrace, but Watford worthy winners. Could have been more by 2 in truth, but they got the job done and are in the hat for tomorrow's 4th round draw, which comes up after the Wolves match and Liverpool match, as Yamak goes round the goalkeeper. 3 seconds left. Referee now looking hard at his watch, and surely there'll be one last attack here as Harvey Bradbury goes forward. He's up against Messina, and Messina holds him off, and that will be that now, surely. We played a quarter, and the referee has blown for the full-time whistle, and Woking have been knocked out of the FA Cup, but not in disgrace. He needed a substitute to seal Watford's passage through to the next round. They led at half-time for a goal from Will Hughes in the first half. Then Troy Deeney made it absolute not long after coming on. Will Hughes is our man of the match, and a very worthy one, I have to say. But all power to Woking. They defended like tigers. They didn't give in. They had a couple of chances in the second half. One at the end where even though it was beyond them, Harvey Bradbury had a fantastic chance towards the end. Also, there was an opportunity there but from Little to test Gomez, which he did. Couple of half chances, but that's all as good as it got really for the non-leaguers. And they bow out disappointingly but graciously and get a good round of applause from a capacity crowd here at Kingfield Stadium, 5,700, and a really good turnout on a Sunday afternoon in the cold weather. You can't get much better than that. Well, there have been some intriguing results elsewhere, and I'm going to bring some results before we leave you in about 3 or 4 minutes here on the JB Clark YouTube channel, because I think it's important now we have some real shocks coming up here. But let's see what's been happening then elsewhere in the FA Cup. We've got a shock on here. We've got 2 shocks. Fulham could be out of the FA Cup. They're losing to Oldham, and the whistle has gone. The whistle has gone at Craven Cottage. And what about that for a result? Oldham of the 4th tier have knocked out Fulham. Claudio Ranieri will be disgusted, but well done to Oldham Athletic. What a superb shock that is there. Fantastic result there. So a great result there. Oldham definitely through. Manchester City, no problems. 7-0 winners against Rotherham. Hull led at Millwall, but Millwall, I said they had a great cup pedigree, and they're proving it again here at the New Den today. They turn it around and lead Hull by 2-1. Preston are crashing out against Doncaster Rovers. They trail 3-1. Leeds are out, beaten by Queen's Park Rangers, so Leeds now can concentrate on trying to win the championship where they are joint up with Norwich, so both championship top 2 are out of the cup. Sheffield United have gone out as well, and barring of course the shock arguably of round 3, they've knocked out Sheffield United away from home by 1-0. Barnet, well done to them. Terrific performance, and I can tell you the goal scorer, Colthurst, from the penalty spot after 21 minutes. So let's go through the whole games in detail for you. So let's start at Craven Cottage in what was an unbelievable turn of events. Fulham led for a die after 52 minutes, and then a penalty with a quarter of an hour left. Sturridge put the ball away. 76 minutes on the clock at that point when Sturridge put away the penalty. Then Lang, 2 minutes on the end, has put Oldham into the hat for the 4th round proper of the FA Cup. The 1994 and 1990 semi-finalists through by 2-1, and a real shock at Craven Cottage. Manchester City, Oldham's neighbours, meanwhile, from just down the road, had no problems. Goals after 12 minutes from Raheem Sterling. Foden made it 2-0. In fact, 7 different scorers. So Sterling after 12, Foden 43, Ajayi with an own goal in the first minute of time and then at the end of the first half. Jesus after 7:52, Mahrez after 73, Otamendi 78 minutes, and Leroy Sané after 85, completing a memorable rout for Pep Guardiola's team, who are comfortably through there. The whistle has also gone at Millwall, and here was what happened. Terrell put Hull in front after 52 minutes, and then the 2 late goals after 82 and 85 minutes from Ferguson puts Millwall through to the next round of the FA Cup. Those famed cup fighters from the Cold Blow Lane are through to round 4. They reached the quarter-finals just 2 years ago.
Another shock at Deepdale. Preston North End 1, Doncaster Rovers 3. Marquis scored for Doncaster Rovers after just 5 minutes. Hughes equalised for Preston after 56. But then Alex Neil's team buckled, and Anderson after 72, and Wilkes 3 minutes from the end booked the Yorkshire side's place into the 4th round. Well done to Doncaster Rovers. QPR and Leeds played against each other at Loftus Road, and in the end it turned out to be a great day for the West Londoners. 2-1 winners they were. Otey scoring for QPR after 23, Haim equalising for Leeds after 25, but then Bidwell a quarter of an hour from the end sends QPR into tomorrow's draw. And as I said, the real shock came at Sheffield United, Barnett winning for that 23rd penalty from Colthurst. But there we are, that's it on a day of real FA Cup action. Just 2 ties to come. That's at Newport in just over half an hour's time, and of course Liverpool Wolves tomorrow at Molineux. Later on we have delayed FA Cup action from Turf 4 from yesterday's match between them and Barnsley. So fantastic day, but it wasn't to be for Woking. They bar out the FA Cup, but not in disgrace. Watford, through goals from Hughes and Deeney, seen themselves over the line. But the real shock came at Bramall Lane. 2 massive shots came at came this afternoon. Oldham winning at Fulham, a magnificent achievement for the side from Greater Manchester, and I know a lot of people around that part, and I'm absolutely chuffed for them. A tremendous performance against Fulham, 2-1, deservedly so. And well done to Barnet. What a win for them away at Sheffield United. High flying Sheffield United in and around the playoff zone of the Championship. They also they've been knocked out by Barnet. So some shocks aplenty, but no shock here at Kingfield Stadium. Woking did their best, it just wasn't enough on the day. Watford comfortable with us, but what a day of shocks. And all the news brought to you here on the JB Clark YouTube channel. No shock in our commentary game, but Oldham through 2-1 at Premier League Fulham, and Sheffield United knocked out by National League Barnet, and they're the only non-league team now left in the FA Cup. What a day, what a weekend it has been. Don't forget to join us later for the delayed game between Burnley and Barnsley from yesterday. But until then, enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and I'll see you a little bit later for delayed commentary of Burnley v Barnsley. For me, JB, take care, and we'll see you very, very soon. Bye bye.